All right, we are live with Spot Dodge, a live Nintendo podcast where every single week we react to the latest Nintendo news and talk about the games we are playing. Someone has their mic. Oh, it's too sensitive. They have like audio. Okay, it's gone now.
I'm getting some massive feedback.
I don't know who it was. No one's gonna fess up. I wonder. It looks like it might have been Mary. I think it was probably Mary.
Me?
Mary?
Brett has a really good straight face right now. It's probably him.
All right, it was me. Okay, God damn it!
I knew it.
I had my volume on my phone up. I didn't think about it. So
Watching review videos of your creepy uncle.
Okay, let's just get into this.
All right. Anyway,
I'm Brett Medlock, video producer and host here at Destructoid, and with me today is, as always, Mary Stowe, social media manager and host here at Destructoid. What's up, Mary?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Then we got John Frisha, indie developer and managing editor over at The Escapist. What's up, John?
for you.
I'm pretty good, but I barely caught any of that on my end because you cut out right whenever you responded.
Cool.
And then we have Brett Larson, the king daddy dilf of the podcast. How you doing, Brett?
I'm glad to be here with you sons of bitches today. Well, sons of
you always got to come in
daughters
with a
of
curse word. This is a family show.
I toned it down from last week. I dropped the F-bomb, so I'm taking it back down.
Okay, yeah. Next week it'll be like a damn or something.
Right.
And then I'm damn good. And then we got Greg Vargas, writer at PC Invasion and streamer over at Dynamite Giraffe. What's up, Greg?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Bartholomew Bumpkins. How are you?
That's a secret name. All right, we don't say that around here.
Share it out.
All right, but
also that was too short.
Yeah,
Greg.
the gap wasn't long enough, Greg.
Time. Yeah. So when he's trying, he doesn't do it right.
Yeah,
don't. Problem.
I should have never said anything. Then there would have always been the gap. But now that you're
but you also said
you
didn't ask me how I was. You said, "What's up?"
Same thing. You used to wait at least 10 seconds before you responded. Anyway,
you know what it was.
What? Thank you.
Thanks.
That's what I wanted to hear. We need those pregnant pauses. That's what people tune in for. All right. And then lastly, we have Eric on the ones and twos streaming this show from his supercomputer. I fumbled all of that, but let's get into the show. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, kinda. I mean, there's not really not really much going on in Nintendo land, but I wanted to talk about Zelda as our first topic today. But before we do that, if you're new to the show, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, on Twitch, and a follow on TikTok. We are live streaming on all three platforms. And I just want to say once again, we are the first gaming podcast on TikTok. We own that title. We started the trend, and now everyone else is doing it.
That's right.
Let's
go
talk
fuck yourself. Kind of funny.
Yeah.
Whoa,
dude. Okay. Now
I'm just kidding. No,
Brett's out for blood today, I guess.
Yeah, he is. He's talking just.
Man, and we were Spot Dodge.
For real. And he said he was tired right before the show, and he comes in flaming hot with all these hot takes.
Cursing.
All right, Zelda, guys. There's been a rumor. Jeff Grubb on his Nintendo podcast had stated that he has a source that told him that there's a direct coming the week of September 12th, and that somewhere in that direct we will finally get the ports for Zelda, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker on Nintendo Switch. This pleases me greatly because I've always wanted these on Switch, even though I literally could play them upstairs on my Wii U. But I just want to play them on Switch. All right, I don't want to touch the Wii U anymore. Now, Greg, have you ever played these games? I hope you've at least played them because this is a Nintendo podcast. But where's your hype level with these games, Greg?
There's Zelda games. I've never played Wind Waker. Twilight Princess, yes, on the Wii port.
Choking on my water because of that.
But what's funny is I own it on GameCube and I own it on Wii U.
And you never played through it?
And you...
Dude, my backlog is horrendous, but I played just Twilight Princess. But I don't know, maybe it might give me an opportunity to pick them up, and I'm pretty hyped. I just enjoy.
Let them sit on your shelf again, though. Like,
yeah, that's what
I'm still reeling right now.
That is the life of
You
of
haven't
a
played
video
Twilight
game
Princess
collector.
either? He's
Not
an avid
Twilight
collector.
Princess, yes.
He didn't say anything about playing them.
Twilight Princess, yes, yeah, and that's. Are you kidding me? The majority of the stuff in my game collection is stuff that I picked up and haven't played, or it's brand new, and I don't ever intend. I just bought a game for PS5, the Cowabunga bundle, and I don't even have PS5. It's just gonna.
Why'd
sit in the
you do
box.
that?
Because I couldn't find it on any other
madman.
console.
And because PC doesn't have like a physical release, or else you would have played it on
That
there.
too. I'll end up playing it though, but yeah. But the only thing I'm not hyped about is Nintendo's still getting away with charging $60 each time these games come out, and
I mean,
you know,
I saw something about them possibly doing a bundle, both games for 70, which I don't know how true that is. I could picture that being a thing. I think it might be because I can't picture them doing 60 for both. Like,
yeah.
It is Nintendo,
can.
and they just did it with Skyward Sword, but this will be the third time these games
I can't
come
picture him doing it. They just did it, but
But Skyward Sword had only been on Wii, and then it was gone for like a decade, and then they finally brought it back, and they like did some significant tweaks to those games. This is literally let's port the game, and they don't have to change anything, they don't have to do anything.
yeah.
So I don't picture them making people pay 60. I don't know why. I know this is Nintendo, but I have a good feeling they might do this $70 rumor for both, which I would be fine with. What about you, Brett?
Yeah,
How do you
because
feel about
I
it?
guess like the 3D All Stars was like an equivalent bundle.
Yeah, exactly. Three Mario games for $60. This will be 2 Zelda games for 70. That sounds about right.
Totally
All
fair.
right, Brett. You have never played these games, I'm assuming. So
I
are you
have-
excited?
I haven't played either, and it's always lately, especially. I've been wanting to go back and play the Zelda games I haven't played. So
Mary's
this will be a
just pissed
perfect
over
reason.
here.
I'm
I know,
losing
I
it.
know, I'm sorry. But hey, I have full intentions on going back and playing ones that I haven't. So I'm actually really looking forward to this, whether they're just a port or a remaster. I'm sure they're not remakes, or we'd have heard about it by now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What's funny is if Nintendo does sell Twilight Princess for $60, it'll be the 4th time they've sold it for $60. And everyone would just be like, Nintendo, here's my money. But then
It'll be the third time.
Isn't it
Well,
before?
yeah.
I read that they've sold it 3 times already for $60.
Well,
I
it
could be wrong.
released at the same time on GameCube and Wii.
It was
So I
like a
guess you
couple
could
months
count that.
apart.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was it a couple
Okay.
months? Yeah.
Yeah. The Wii was
Okay,
the
then.
launch title, and then the
I think that
GameCube
still
version was
counts.
later.
Oh yeah, that was so weird. The
Nice.
GameCube version came out later.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Um,
but my point was, of course, is PlayStation launches The Last of Us, and technically that's the 3rd time they've launched it too. But they did like a major graphical overhaul, and people like fucking hung them out to dry over that.
Dude,
But,
Nintendo doesn't get those criticisms.
There's a very good chance they're going to release just a straight port with a little bit of graphical upres, and people are going to be like, "Oh my god, it's awesome, beautiful! I can't wait to play it." I don't know. I
Yeah.
just think it's funny, but at the same time, like, I'm very surprised these games haven't been on Switch already. So, I personally am looking forward to it, and whether it's 70 for both or 60 a piece, I'm going to get both of them. So it won't matter to me.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to actually like play these. I think that they've actually aged really well. Twilight Princess is a bit, I don't know how to put it. The pacing's a little off in like the first like few hours of the game, and that's what everyone remembers when they think of Twilight Princess. But they're forgetting the entire grand adventure after that. You got amazing dungeons. You got this dark Zelda story that everyone was begging for, and then they act like they didn't want it when the game finally came out. They were crying when Wind Waker came out and was too kiddie and cartoony, and then when this came, everyone was like, oh well, just that's not really what we wanted. But anyway, I'm excited to play this.
Sorry to cut you off. Isn't Twilight Princess the first game after Ocarina of Time? Is that the next Zelda?
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
In terms of 3D Zeldas, it was
Gotcha.
it was
Three,
If we're
yeah.
talking about like order of release, yeah.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Zelda.
But yeah, Wind Waker actually did get a significant overhaul in the graphics when it came to Wii U. So And they actually did more to the gameplay in terms of letting you use like gyro controls, and you could speed up the sale by getting like a secret item in the game. So that was really like useful to speed up the entire game. So yeah, I think Wind Waker, when it originally came out, I thought a $60 price point was perfectly fine. Now it's like it's a really old game now. It's a really old HD remaster, and Twilight Princess is already like released 4 times now, or 3 times before this for 60. So $70 price point sounds good for me. But Mary, we've only heard you get mad at people. But how you feeling about this rumor? Are you excited? What's up?
I'm like one of those people where like I want it to happen, but it's a rumor that's been told time and time again since the Switch has released in 2017 that we're going to get Wind Waker port, we're going to get Twilight Princess port. It's going to happen. It's just right around the corner. It's been ready for years. This is the Nintendo Direct. Like it's every single Nintendo Direct has been the Direct that I'm just like, I will believe it when Nintendo announces it. I trust nobody at this point.
I was
Not even Jeff Grubb.
No one.
Iffy Grubb is pretty reliable, but this is from like a source that he has that didn't sound as reliable as some of his other ones. But
okay, but you said pretty reliable. There's still like a it may not be true aspect to it, like
Well, it's
like no one's ever been 100% accurate.
Right, but it sounded to me like seeing Wind Waker and Twilight Princess is like the one thing that they were 100% on. Like they fully are convinced on that, and like everything else is like, but yeah.
If it turns out that like he's right, like awesome. I will be super excited. I will pay $60 again for both games. I'm that person. I will own them again. Also, I'm still trying to grasp how y'all have not played Wind Waker.
Crazies, absolutely crazies. Game, like, freaking masterpiece right there. You guys just come on. John, you've played it, right?
Yeah, but I'll be stirring the pot even more here.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Well, so all right. So I've mentioned before how I'm not actually much of a fan of 3D Zelda. Like I loved Breath of the Wild to death, and that was a total reinvention of everything. But like after Ocarina of Time and until Breath of the Wild, I never finished another 3D console Zelda. They couldn't keep my attention. So
Damn.
with Wind Waker, I got as far as like that really big tower. I don't remember what it's called, and I got stuck there. I probably would have been like middle school aged, and when I got stuck there, I was just like, well, I'm done. So that was the furthest I ever got in Wind Waker. I guess I enjoyed what I played, but honestly, I didn't have strong memories of it. I didn't have strong feelings about it one way or the other. And then I got Twilight Princess as a Wii launch title when the Wii came out. And yeah, basically what you said, Brett. I thought the beginning was so slow and boring that I think I got through like one dungeon and I just never touched it again the rest of my life. Yeah. And I don't really care what I missed, but
you're missing it though. God damn it.
But like if they released a new collection for like $60 for both of them, I probably would buy it just for the sake of like, well, maybe I'll play them someday, know? And I think Nintendo makes a ton of money on people like me being like, maybe I'll play it someday. They're banking on it. So that's basically where I'm at. Like I don't really have I have very low enthusiasm for it, but I'd probably buy it anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say that what you just said, John, about kind of getting stuck on a part and then not playing anymore. That happened to me with Link's Awakening. And maybe I need to go back and just get through that part, but I don't know what I did, but I got stuck on a part and I played it for like an hour just going back and forth. I could not figure out where to go next. And it was driving me so nuts that I'm like, screw this, dude. I'm just done. And I've never gone back to it. And like I always want to go back to it, but I was like I don't know. I just had the worst taste in my mouth from that, and it pissed me off. I like Skyward Sword. I also did not meet that either. Not because I got stuck, but I just another game came out, and I should go back and finish that. But yeah, I know what you mean though. Like sometimes you just get stuck and you play it for a while, you just kind of are done with it. And like, okay, I'm finished with this for a while, especially if other games are coming out. But yeah.
I know what you're talking about with Link's Awakening. It was my first time playing that whenever it came to Switch, and I made it through like 3 temples or something without needing like a guide. But then I ended up not knowing where to go, and I used a guide to get to the next spot. And then before I knew it, I was having to sit there and watch the guide the entire time to know where I'm supposed to go. And I was thinking, how the hell would anyone know that you were supposed to come shoot this or something and then go into the temple? There was like some things that didn't make any sense. And I know like there are a lot of people who love that game, so I'm probably pissing them off. But to me, it seemed so impossible to understand unless you literally spent hours just exploring, which is probably what those people did as a kid. So now they're like, it was easy, but I don't know. I just think that game did not have any sense of direction. I would love like an arrow that like tells you where to go next the entire time.
And then if there's the arrow, it would totally go against the point of the game. But I mean, there'd be stuff that's so hidden. It's like hidden in a bush that you didn't even know you could go to, and
that's how you move forward in the game.
Yeah,
it's like it's not just like a secret. It's like how you actually continue.
But I mean, in this game's defense, like it's very easy to find solutions for things because the Game Boy strategy guides still apply to the Switch version, like 97%.
Yeah.
Like, almost everything is the same. It's the most crazy, faithful like remake I've ever seen to this day. But like the solutions are out there. I know that for sure. But the quest with like the bananas. That's like you keep kind of like trading up your item to like get something else. Like that one is insane. That one's very tricky to figure out on your own.
You like just brought that back into my memory. That's a huge part. I was like, how would anyone know that you were supposed to do this? Like it doesn't make any sense.
I wrote a guide for that one at Nintendo Enthusiast because I knew people would need that one.
That's cool.
But yeah, that game, it was a lot of fun, though. I just used the guide a lot, and I actually ended up beating it. But it was a gorgeous remake, and I recommend it if you don't mind.
It's insane how pretty that game is.
So
it doesn't look like a Switch game. It looks almost like a PS5 game.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Now, I'm sure Greg loves it at its lush 23 frames per second the whole time. Don't you, Greg?
Actually, that was going to segue into my comment, or that segues into my comment. I'm curious to see what the graphical upgrades, or if they do anything special for visual treatments for this bundle.
They will do
nothing.
Nothing. Well,
1080p
did for Wind Waker.
Emphatic in italics, nothing.
Put Wind Waker at 60 frames per second, and I'm happy. Like they already did a lot with that game when they moved it to Wii U. But it still ran at 30, so I would love to have that at 60. But I don't know if it will, because it is like an open world style game. That might be kind of hard on the RAM or whatever. I don't even know anything about hardware, but
might be hard on the DPR or something.
The processor, the algorithm, the trinkets.
Could hurt its feelings.
Yeah, it might be hard on its feelings.
I just wish though that like there was I think if I could wish for any third game to add to make this a trio bundle, which I'm sure they won't, which would probably be like Link Between Worlds. Like I think that would be a great addition to this. That would make a solid bundle. That would make even more people enticed to buy a $70 game, because it was, even though the 3DS was super popular, it came out at like a weird time. And I think people were mostly transitioning away from it in its older age, if I recall. But I feel like that would be an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like A Link Between Worlds was more towards like the end of the life cycle, if you will, for like the 3DS, if I'm remembering it right.
I remember when it came out.
Pretty game out with
too. Yeah, there was like a special edition one for it. That was like one of like the new 3DS XL. So they were already starting to do like the newer
2013.
one.
Yeah.
So it was pretty early.
13.
That's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's wild.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
We have a comment on YouTube. Franco says, as a fanboy, this opinion about Zelda almost pissed me off more than the 7.5 Astral Chain from
Greg, you son of a bitch.
No, Greg raised
Too
it
bad
to
it's
an
8.
a
7.5.
You raised it?
Yeah.
He raised it
You
to
raised
an
it
8.
to an
I
8.
got him to raise it to an 8.
Acceptable.
Well done.
Acceptable. Right? No, but acceptable. But yeah, you guys
That's
are
good stuff.
maniacs who didn't love Wind Waker. I can understand why someone wouldn't love Twilight Princess. I do. But Wind Waker, such an iconic, beautiful, amazing game for its time. It has aged like a fine wine. One of the few Zelda games that actually has a good story in the beginning and then slowly fizzes away, but it's actually pretty good at first. You know what I mean?
It turns into shit by the end, but it's great in the beginning.
It doesn't have a 2-hour intro like Twilight Princess.
Exactly. It's a very captivating opening where you see your sister get kidnapped and you have to go off on an adventure reluctantly and to save her. Like that's a really cool. Like more of that.
I don't even need to play. You could just tell me what happens.
Well, he saves her. All right. Now you know the story.
Okay. Great.
You really thought they were gonna kill a little girl in this game?
Why not?
Why not?
Secretly the darkest Zelda out there.
Cold-hearted ass Nintendo.
Don't save the sister.
Yeah. I guess you could technically let her die if you just turned on the game, played the opening, and just sat there for the rest of time and just never shut the game. Like she would have to be caught.
Are we talking spoilers before I even played the game, or what the fuck is going on here?
This is like the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Just
That's
the
still
first 30
spoiler.
minutes of the game.
Yeah, it's just the first 4 hours of the game.
The only thing that sets up the whole entire story for it. That's okay. That's fine.
This is like a fucking 12-year-old, 15-year-old game.
Oh, now we're cursing. Now we're cursing.
Game,
Are you upset? Somebody sounds upset to me.
I'm upset. But yeah, man, it came out 2003? So 20 years old almost? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, it's my fault, but
if we were talking about, something a little more modern, I would be a little more cautious, but
no,
but people are going to play this for the first time and you just ruined it.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
That Link's sister does not die in the video game.
Oh my gosh.
People were going
to be on the edge of their seat while playing this game, thinking, "What if Ganon really kills her?" And trying to make their way through the game.
Just rips her to pieces.
Spoiler alert! You just said Ganon was in it.
Now Ganon's in it. You piece of shit! I thought it was an entirely different story.
Reddit's just out here fucking everything.
That is kind of a secret in the game too.
Yeah, God, man, this was spot dodge.
I've only seen him in screenshots for like the past decade, but I can't believe you mentioned it.
Next up, I'm going to tell you that killing Ganon is one of the most graphic Zelda scenes where you literally stab him through the skull and do a backflip off of him.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that screenshot is like everywhere because it is one of the most iconic Zelda moments. It's like that awesome. Final moment it's insane. It's like and worth playing the entire game for.
It sounds like a God of War when he kills like one of the bosses in God of War, he like rips their eye out. Like,
man, spoilers! I was gonna go play God of War, but now
like,
get it. Over.
I'm never gonna play God
of
War.
Typical Brett behavior. The Bretts are just a bunch of spoilers.
Just tired of fucking everything up.
Yep. But yeah, I really hope this rumor is real. I think more people need to play these two games. I really hope that Twilight Princess has a bit more of people who appreciate it. I think if you just get through that first, I'm going to say 3 to 4 hours, but after you've played it once, you can really get through that whole like beginning section in like 2 hours. The worst part is whenever you're a wolf and you have to collect the parasite shining things. You know what I'm talking about, Mary?
Yes, they're gross.
Those things are hard to find and they really slow down like the game overall.
Probably one of the ugliest Zelda games.
It is. It's ugly now, but back when it came out, when they were aiming for more realistic looking graphics, it actually looked really good.
I like Link's model though.
Yeah,
it came out in the era of just muddy textures and graphics. Like, I mean, I've criticized even Mass Effect and Dragon Age for this, where it's like there's just so much brown and gray, where it just gets very muddled, and you're just like, okay, it's a mud game, basically. At some points.
Yeah. And then Wind Waker still looks really great. Like, it looks perfectly fine compared to Twilight Princess. It looks way better.
Yeah, why don't you just tell us the fucking ending?
Okay, well, there's this whole part where you're running up these stairs.
Jesus shit.
But, yeah, we're all going to play it this time. Maybe even John. And then we're all going to come back and talk about it and talk about all the crazy things that we experience in this game that everyone has already played.
It's gonna be like homework.
I'll give it a shot.
We all have 1 week from the time it releases to play at least one of them, so we can go back and discuss it.
Can I play some of it?
No, you're gonna beat a game for
play
once,
at least
Greg.
5 hours of it, Greg.
Yeah, I'm the king of starting. Speaking of which, I'm trying to finish up Age of Calamity, and that game never ends.
You want to talk about those
ends.
beast sections now? Because I could have sworn you said they were terrible. I mean,
okay, can anybody hear?
And I said they were terrible.
I said they were terrible. And
the Divine
Beast? Up and down. Yeah, that
Someone said they liked those sections.
Them.
I liked those. I thought those were.
It was probably Mary.
I didn't mind them.
You get to
They were
be the
terrible.
Divine
They're
Beast.
absolutely terrible.
They're awful.
You just get to like mow
Speaking
down
of muddy
like
graphics.
thousands of
Oh, the
lives.
Age of No, yeah, I did enjoy those. Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Oh my
John.
God.
yeah.
John of all people, I thought would despise
For real.
them.
I thought he would have hated that.
No, I always appreciate killing 300 things at a time.
See?
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
It's all about that power fantasy.
Yeah, that was not a power fantasy to me. It just looked like one big muddy thing happening in front of me that I could barely even
The
comprehend.
movement's so stiff, it's like I'm drunk and having a stroke.
And you're slow as hell.
Yeah.
Because they're giant robots.
Yeah,
It's
man.
too
Of course
slow,
they're gonna
man.
move slow.
I guess.
Yeah, it's
That was a
not
terrible
fun, though.
idea. I was waiting for them to add like a skip feature if you like died too many times or something.
I love the
Please,
art style
yes.
on Wind Waker. I'm just watching it on the
It's
side.
gorgeous, dude.
I love it.
Oh my
Yeah.
I
God.
can't wait to play it.
Sail in the open sea still looks like so good. Looks absolutely stunning. And then with all the like the grassy textures, they like redid all them, so they all look really good as well.
I like cell shaded games though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that aesthetic was like very firmly tied to like early mid 2000s, and then it just kind of disappeared for a while.
Yeah. But now we're all just staring in awe at Wind Waker.
Yeah. I
Like,
love that. I
yes.
love Wind Waker so much.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it again. I actually started it not that long ago, probably like 6 months ago, and I did the first temple. But now, since it's finally coming to Switch, I'll probably just wait and actually finish it out on there. It's like a very replayable game to me.
Mhm.
What's
And
funny is-
I hope what.
When I finally bought Wii U, I think it came free as like a digital pack-in game. I think, and like even then, like I probably played the first dungeon. Like I don't know, like I
Man.
don't know. The odds are not good of me playing it to the finish. Not anytime
Jeez.
soon, at least.
You will play through Breath of Fire 2 and all those old ass JRPGs, but you won't play through Wind Waker.
Fire 2 rules.
What's Wind Waker?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Wait,
much
he'll
more
play
hyped
through-
for Breath of the Wild 2, whatever that happens to be named.
Which brings us to our next topic.
There we
Breath
go.
of the Wild.
2024.
Guys, we
God.
still have not heard about this game. Now, I wanted to name this podcast Nintendo as... Wait, now what did I name it on YouTube? Zelda's about to go big on Nintendo Switch, question mark. I think it is. I think we're about to get these two games coming out this year, and then they're going to give us a very firm release date for Breath of the Wild 2 and a name at this Direct. We're finally going to get a name, Mary. How does that make you feel?
I might cry if we finally get the name because
What if
like
it's called?
it better be
Ganon's
good.
Colonoscopy.
Oh my
What if-
God, no!
What if it's called We Hope That Mary Doesn't Play It?
Then I won't be allowed to
Everyone's gonna
play it, and I'll just cry while everyone
I'll
else
vouch
does.
for that one.
Oh my gosh!
But we can all
No.
just tell you the ending.
Yeah.
No. When that game comes out, I'm gonna like go into a cave for at
The
least
world
Yeah.
will stop when that
Oh my
game
god,
comes out.
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
like
Think
I'm
about
gonna,
it. Think about it. Think about it. Breath of the Wild, the first one came out at the launch of the Switch whenever everyone, probably like 5 million people played it, like 10 million, I don't know. But now, 120 million Switch owners, this game is going to be freaking massive. It's I just can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm.
What were you going to say?
No, I was gonna say like back at the last Nintendo Direct when they first we're kind of like talking about Breath of the Wild too. It's clips and everything too. Like me just losing my shit over. I was like, we don't get a name for this game, like because there's all this build up, and I was like, okay, they're just gonna end it with like the nice pretty logo, and they're like, "That's all, everybody," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I was so personally insulted by. But if we don't hear about it by this month, I think they're delaying the game again. Unfortunately, I'm just like,
what was the estimated? Have they given us like a window yet?
Spring 2023.
I think it comes out spring next year.
Yeah,
I think so.
They need to talk about it soon.
That's
unless
when everything
Nintendo
else
is
coming out.
Yeah, unless Nintendo's like
Spring is gonna be insane.
changing like their marketing window, because I feel like they wouldn't spend so little time on such a big game to market it, but they've been changing things up lately. So
wasn't the Switch revealed in like November or something and came out in March? Like a very small window.
Yeah.
And Breath of the Wild was obviously revealed way before that for Wii U, but that seemed like a smart move because obviously the Switch ended up exploding.
Was it revealed before that for Wii U?
Revealed in
years.
Oh yeah, I think so.
It was revealed way long ago.
Well, okay, God, we're juggling a lot of dates right now. So Nintendo. So for starters, Nintendo Switch was announced in October 2016.
That was close.
You were, and it launched in March 2017. And
I must say, I thought it was sooner, but I don't remember that. Really.
Months later, that's not bad.
I just remember thinking it was weird because they never released a console in March. And that's why it was so strange. Because everyone assumed it would be November. Like, I'm pretty sure in 2016, everyone was expecting them to announce the NX like ahead of November so that it could launch then. But then they waited till October and said it was coming in March. So it was like, wow, that's weird. But that ended up being a really smart move because it was almost like they had two holiday seasons, like having the launch with Breath of the Wild and then the holiday season with Mario Odyssey and then like the Black Friday deals and stuff. Wow. Smart.
Yeah. So according to Wikipedia, I guess they first teased Breath of the Wild a little in 2013, like early, like January 2013, and then they kind of actually showed off a little bit of the actual in-game E3 2014. So definitely quite a while.
And then came out 2017.
Yeah.
Crazy. Greg, you don't remember all those years of everyone speculating about Breath of the Wild?
No, I don't, honestly.
It's all a blur.
Yeah.
I mean, he only found out that Zelda's a game franchise tonight, so...
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I never heard of this. What's his name? Lonk?
Yeah, Lonk. His name's Lonk Green.
Lonk Johnson. But I mean, that gives, 7 months to launch in spring 2023. I don't think we'll get a delay, but I feel like... I mean, we never really know what's going on at Nintendo. They could be very well pushing their teams to the limit, depending on how far along the game is and whatnot. But I'm sure that's giving them enough time for polish. But I just hope, after all this is said and done, and all this anticipation, that the name of the game isn't lame as fuck. Like it's not revealing something, or it's like Ganon's Return or something just.
The Emerald Jewel.
The Emerald Jewel.
Something whack like Sonic Frontiers or something. I don't know.
That is a whack name, I'll be honest. I do not like that name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like that.
It sounds like a B game to me in my head.
It should have been Sonic. Yeah, I don't even fucking know. Let's talk
like Sonic Adventure on the Starfall Islands would have been way better.
Sonic Adventure 3 is what they should have called it, and it should have had a Chow Garden, and then I would have been happy.
Now,
they could have made it the exact same game, same open world format, but a Chow Garden, and then everyone would have accepted it as Sonic Adventure 3. As long as you had that Chow Garden, everyone would have been fine with it.
I really want to get to the root of your obsession with the Chow Garden. Because
I was going to say, enough with the goddamn Chow Gardens.
Dude, I'm not alone here. Everyone loves the Chow Gardens, right?
I think you are.
No, everyone loves them. I'm about to say, when I played Sonic Adventure 2, I spent over half the time,
in the Chow Garden. It was
in the Chow Garden,
to play the game. It was like... I don't even know how to explain it. It was like a perfect thing that ever existed. There we go. Let's move on to.
Well, actually, I wanted to point out one more thing about Breath of the Wild 2, which is I think by default, at this point, this has to be the most hyped video game name reveal we've ever seen. Because this is that I can recall, this is the only time ever that people have been really curious to hear what a game's name is. Because usually it doesn't really matter. Like it's
because they said it was a spoiler.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Or at least a potential spoiler. So like that makes it like 10 times more interesting still, and how they just keep holding it back. Like one of two things is going to happen. Number one is they've been holding it back because there's this big crazy mechanic that they've been keeping close to. Exactly, yeah. Like if there's like co-op with Link and Zelda, that would be an absolutely insane thing.
Could you imagine if the whole game was co-op with Link and Zelda? Oh my god! Brett, we would have to figure out our schedules, man.
The sales numbers would, oh my god, be insane. So like,
it's absolutely nuts.
So either they've been holding the name all this time to reveal a crazy mechanic in that vein, or they've been holding it just for the sake of being like little snots about it, and then it'll be like massive disappointment ensues. Yeah. So, and Nintendo, especially in recent years, has been so careful about managing expectations with like every little thing, and so it would be crazy to me if this name doesn't have like a genuinely substantial effect on gameplay.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about that in my head, like thinking about Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild, like it like encompasses the experience of the game, Link Between Worlds, Link's Awakening. So I think you're right. Like it has to be like, if it was co-op, I put in our Discord chat for the show is like, Breath of the Wild, dual realities. There's something that points to like some co-op, but I've also said it too, like if it has to do something with time or like, something to that effect of reversing time or whatever, I think that could also be a possibility of a title or something relating to time in the title.
Yeah. I mean, we already know that there's like a time reverse mechanic, like you can reverse items back in time and stuff, but I would love if like this was a co-op game and like you can both utilize the switching between timelines feature thing where like one person's in the past, another person's in the future, and they're like affecting something in the past that like where the other person is in like in the future. I think that would be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's something like Breath of the Wild 2, make Ganon your bitch.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, but how do you even pull off co-op? I mean, you can't do it like even couch.
I don't know.
Yeah, it would have to be online, but
Nintendo's online. Get out of here.
Guys, I just gotta say about Nintendo's online. All right, I just want to say I play Smash all the time. 1v1, no items, so it's not as crazy as having a lot of people. But I never have problems with Nintendo's online. I know that sounds crazy. I know you don't hear that often. But I gotta say, I do a lot of 1v1, and rarely do I like run into any type of like hiccups or problems whenever I'm playing.
That's hard
Smash.
to believe. We can't even have a consistent video call without your internet crashing. How?
I know, it sounds crazy. I mean, my Switch is wired, but I'm just saying.
Paige Schill, Brett Medlock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it. Someone's gonna say
ad on this video.
Have you guys noticed that we've actually gotten like more comments lately on YouTube, and that's why I stopped saying we're gonna read all your comments because I don't think we'll have time to actually go through them now. So,
do you make false promises?
Yes, I did. I didn't think a lot of people would start saying stuff. So, we could still go through like a couple if you guys wanted to.
Yeah. But
let's go through a couple.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
No, you go ahead.
All right, I'm just gonna go to the first comment.
Fucking go ahead.
Someone said, "Oh my god, it was Tyler Krigg." And oh my god, can we get over the Chow Garden already? It's been 21 years for fuck's sake.
No, we can't. We cannot get over it. We need our chows.
I like that one. That was good.
We do not need our chows.
How do people not love the Chow Garden? Like, you could play wrestling, you can race them. Listen, there's like a whole metagame where they have different skills. They all are good in certain areas. So if you have a Chow that's a good swimmer or something, has an A, you can up that to an S by like evolving it whenever it gets bigger. And then you can do it again and again and again. And sooner or later, all S's across the board, destroying all the other Chows on the playground.
Oh my god, you sold me.
Yeah, I fell asleep just listening.
Really?
And listen to this. Listen to this. You can have certain chows that are like straight up gold or shining. But here's the kicker.
Evil.
Why
One
are our
time-
YouTube numbers going up right now?
It's like
One
we should
time-
be getting less viewers.
Chow
One
rant.
time, I had a Sonic Adventure 2 guide, and they didn't say anything about see-through chows, fully transparent chows. And I hatched one of those guys, and my mind was freaking blown. I was like, "This is impossible! I've done the impossible."
How
and
old
then
were
years,
you?
years, I was like 11. Years later, I saw online it is a rare occurrence that you can have a transparent chow, but it wasn't in the guidebook or anything. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about something else, you guys. What? Oh yeah, comments. Let's go to last week's episode and see what people have to say about John's personality.
John's awesome.
2023 will be a blockbuster year for gaming, and will for sure push the industry even further into mainstream. Great podcast, you guys. From Echoes 93. Awesome. That's the type of comment I like to read on the show. But yeah, I think 2023 is going to be absolutely insane. Jesus. My dog's sneezing nonstop. And then Coyote Girls said, yeah, like every year.
Yeah, like
A banger for video games every single year. I don't know. What year was that? 2015 was terrible, I think. I think it was 2015.
Yeah, just fuck that one particular year.
Yeah, just that one.
Full on.
Then we got Jacob Garvey, who says, this channel used to be good with Lyle Wrath. And I responded, so true.
you didn't have to read that one, Brett. Jesus Christ.
Hey, those videos were funny.
Discharge.
Yeah, those were funny. He's off to better pastures now because he's in like a TV show and stuff.
He died? Oh.
He died? What?
I thought you were saying he was off to greener pastures. Like, passed away.
Now we got a very criticizing person of 2023. More like the year for playable movie pitches disguised as games. For the first time, I'm more interested in indie games than those morose, wannabe, profound American titles. This is why I usually play Japanese games. I'm Lyle Wrath, and I will talk to you guys later.
Sounds like a comment John wrote.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
just
John wrote it.
John, take off that mask.
Has 2 likes. But I promise you one of them likes is the guy who made the comment.
For sure.
I was gonna
Bro,
say, you're
yeah.
just now covering indie games. I feel bad for you because you have a lot of catching up to do. Like, there's some amazing.
I'm more interested in Coyote Girls. Is that like Coyote Ugly Girls? Or
I guess no, they actually have a
it's
coyote as their profile pic.
Grist. Gris.
Oh, he said girls.
Girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like Coyote Ugly. Okay, I'm interested.
Coyote Gris. I said girls. And then we got another comment from Aza that says, this is what we thought in 2022. Wait, this is what we thought
That's
2022 will be. Everything will get delayed before you know it. I'm sure
true.
a lot of stuff will get delayed, but I think the year is still going to be a banger.
I actually said that last week, and Brett, we were talking late 2021. We're like, dude, early 2022 is going to be insane. And like, there was a lot of stuff in the first.
There was.
Mainly February and some of March and some of January, but
Yeah,
like, there
Pokemon,
was
Elden
probably
Ring.
Dying Light 2.
Dying Light 2,
Dying Light 2.
Horizon Forbidden West.
A little bit later, there was Kirby.
Mhm.
Yeah, if Kirby was in that era. But there was a few things that got pushed out that were supposed to be there too. So it was like, became more feasible to play the games that came out during that time. So I guess we'll see, never know. I'm sure. I also think that some of these developers are going to be like, we can't have this launch with all this other stuff. It's just going to end up cannibalizing our game. So we'll see. I could see some of them pushing it off just so they have a chance to sell their game.
Yeah, I don't remember which game it was anymore, but I remember there was one game delayed, and I think it was on Twitter. Like, I think they literally said, like, yeah, we're delaying the game because we don't want to come out when Cyberpunk's coming out.
Yeah, no, seriously, I don't blame.
Didn't High on Life just say that about God of War? They were like, we don't want to launch when God of War does, so we're coming out in December instead.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I can't remember
Wait,
why.
And they also did they also just did a Rick and Morty
High on Life
crossover God of War ad or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Justin Roiland would have had say over the God of War ad, but it is kind of funny that he delayed his game and was also doing an ad with them, and he delayed his game because of them.
The only thing with that is like High on Life and God of War are so vastly different games. Like I can't imagine a person that's super stoked to play High on Life is the same person that's going to be playing God of War Ragnarok. You know, like they're very different genres. So like. You know what I mean? Like I can't imagine
totally
just
different,
because people are buying God of War Ragnarok, they're not going to buy High on Life. Maybe not day one, but they're going to get back to it.
And High on Life isn't on PlayStation, and God of War isn't on Xbox.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like what?
Game Pass. Yep. Yeah. True.
Huh.
I know the only thing I disliked about High on Life thus far is like I think some of the like gun voicing is. Because Mary played it. But I feel like it would
Mary,
get annoying.
You still have to tell us your thoughts. You went to freaking PAX. What'd you play?
High on Life. So I actually got to go play it. And it was a really good demo, I thought. And like I saw a lot. I try not to watch too much of like stuff online before I go play something, especially if like I know I'm gonna go play because I don't want it to like affect like how I think of it. And like, but I did see the comments of people were like concerned about like, oh my god, the guns are never going to shut up, the weapons will never shut up. And it's like, I think the dialogue and the banter is actually just right, and I think it's really funny. I clearly like the sense of humor though, but I thought it was really good. You know, it's
how often does it talk though? Like just like in your moment to moment gameplay, is it constantly talking, or does it like take breaks as you're walking around?
Yeah, there were some breaks, you know, like as you're walking around. So it wasn't like just this constant like voice in your head, you know, sort of thing. But I felt like it was like just the right amount. And I actually got to talk to like Justin Roiland, Mikey and Maddie, who were executive producer and art director, were there as well. And one of the things that they said was like their goal with like that kind of dialogue was like they wanted it to feel like it was something that you, the player, would be saying. And I was like, that's how it felt to me. Like even in the like the boss fight, at one point your little your weapon is like, oh shit, you're actually shooting it, we're doing damage. And I was like, that's what I say to myself if I'm actually like doing good in a game. It's like, hey, like, you know, like I'm doing it. And at one point he's like, this is our first boss fight together, you know, like like a little bonding moment. So I enjoyed it though.
Maybe I've just seen like too many of the same demos of the same sections, because I think PAX brought that out. It was like so many other people playing High on Life and having like little snippets of gameplay, and maybe I've just seen the same ones over and over again. But I did see a similar video where they were talking about balancing that out and how they were almost acting. I want to say he said something like they almost act as like NPCs to carry the story, but they're not like overly intrusive like every time you shoot. Yeah.
So, but I'm
very excited for this one. I don't really want to watch any of the like. I haven't seen really anything since that one with the kid where he shoots the kid. I thought that was kind of funny. It was a little.
Child. We're killing children now.
he did do like the repeat the joke over and over until it's not funny anymore thing in it, but it was still funny to me, so I didn't really mind. But anyway, I don't really want to watch any more gameplay clips because I feel like the jokes of this game are going to be what really makes it special. So I don't want to spoil any of that. So yeah.
Well, something else they said though was that like two different people could have very different experiences. Like it's like, so if like you could do one thing and someone else could do it completely different, and then that could like completely determine like what you experience next. So like which I thought was nice too. I was like, okay, so like I may see something that like my friend doesn't, you know. I like that kind of like a detail and explorability like within a game.
Yeah, I was watching an interview and they said that they were thinking about this, like all the things that someone would try to do to break the game, and having an answer like story or joke wise for every time someone tries to do something like that. So like if you're trying to like go through like a I don't know, like climb up a wall or something, they'll be like, you know, you're just gonna fall when you get to the top or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about that,
Mary, too, go ahead, Greg.
No, I just saw like a short video. This person was trying to. There was like two doors, a red and a blue one, and the dialogue you could select like to compliment the blue guy that was guarding the door, or if you chose to say that the red one was more, because he's like, which one of us do you think is more attractive? And he says the blue one, and then so like you're allowed to go through the blue door, but the red door is closed off to you now. So I can see where like the decision making in the game over time, like at least it gives some like varying differences in how people are going to play it and experiences.
Yeah.
I was just
going
to say,
Mr. Dilf.
Mr. Dilf.
I was just going to say, I was curious about like the moment-to-moment dialogue because another game that came out fairly recently, Horizon Forbidden West, got criticized pretty hard about like when she's by herself and like she's like talks to herself and like reminds her, oh, I've got to climb up that wall, and people like were like they were tired of her talking, and they're like, shut the hell up, to the point where they actually went back in and patched so she didn't talk as much anymore.
Did they? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, she actually talks less and doesn't like remind you of shit as much anymore.
Oh,
so I wonder if it's going to be the same thing where people are going to be like, oh, he never shuts up, or if it's going to be just the right amount.
Yeah, hopefully that's not a problem. The only thing I could say that maybe would be a good thing is if, well, that's like a better thing is that like Aloy, when she was talking, it was usually stuff that you were already knew about. You were just like taking your time, and she's like, oh, I better get up that mountain or something like that. Like she would kept like saying stuff like that, and I was like, just stop! I'm just taking my time. Shut up, Aloy.
It's like I better pick up those metal shards for the shield. Yeah, Aloy, they're right fucking in front of you. Okay, I don't need you to tell me.
Dude, I was at the end of the game and she was still saying stuff like, I'm gonna need some of these for my arrows. It's like, I know that I need those. But yeah. Now I have some more comments from the week before that I wanted to go over. If you guys, someone's named the Gotcha Horror Zone says that's where Halo Infinite belongs in the garbage. No, Halo Infinite is a treasure that should be beloved because it is it is the best Halo combat we have ever had. It is so good, and yes, the service sucks right now, but I'm a believer in Halo Infinite. I believe it's going to get better. I think that they're going to bring on a support studio. Apparently, they already got a studio making a battle royale. I don't care about that as much, but still, I love Halo Infinite. I played every single day like a freaking idiot. But guys, they just released this new trailer for Halo Infinite. I just want to, just a little tangent here, where they are actually adding some stuff that I care about. They're doing big team battle Fiesta mode right there. It's on the screen right now. Sweet. Eric's so fast. So that's super exciting. I cannot wait because I've been playing Fiesta mainly, and it's all the same maps. And I'm like, God, I'm tired of these maps. But now that they have it in in Big Team Battle mode, I'm playing all different maps, Fiesta mode, and unfortunately, it's only a 2-week event that's not going to last forever. So that pisses me off. Anyway,
wasn't Fiesta mode only for a limited time too before they added it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was good, but
like
it was
a month or something like that.
I think it was such a big hit that when they took it away, everyone was pissed off. Now someone else said,
speaking of things that they took away, the local split screen co-op.
Oh yeah, this was a weird story.
Just never added it.
Ridiculous.
No, this is weird because it has it. That's the weird part. Like
somebody was able to like hack it, or like mod or whatever. Like
it wasn't even a mod. You can
it was just like an exploit. Yeah,
an exploit. You don't have to hack the game. You can do it on a base Xbox One without changing or doing anything crazy, and it has split screen co-op. Like you can get to it and play it, and I just think that's so bizarre because apparently the cutscenes are working, the open world's working, but they canceled it even though it's right there. It's on the freaking hard drive. You can't use it. You can't do it.
I wonder if there's something game breaking about it, or it wipes your save, or something that they couldn't figure out. It seems weird to have it accessible and then take it and not even plan it for the future to cancel it.
It's very strange, but
no, like all jokes aside though, a lot of people hate Halo Infinite, but man, I love that game, and like it's kind of like how Smash is to me. It's like I've rarely come by multiplayer games that I care about, and Smash and Halo Infinite are those two games. Like they're the only two games where I like follow people who are like in the know about all what's going on with Smash and Halo, and I get like their notifications to my phone and stuff when they tweet. So it's just I'm in deep with this game, and I really hope that Forge comes out. I hope they have a new story expansion in the works. But yeah, it sucks that they've had such a rocky start. It's been absolutely a terrible service game. That's not really what it is, but
it's just crazy.
Two maps in a year? Are you kidding me? 2 maps.
It's just crazy though. Like a game like this, didn't it come out in November of last year, right?
Yeah, and it actually launched early in October. The multiplayer did.
October. So yeah, we're looking at like 10 months or so. Like any other like multiplayer game like Battlefield or Call of Duty, you're looking at like at least 2 expansion packs of like 4 or 5 maps each by this time. So I was like, man, like I enjoyed the campaign. I'm not a big Halo guy, but I enjoyed the campaign, and it's just they have dropped the ball so hard, 343, and they kind of messed up the when they revealed the game too. People were like laughing, like it looks like shit, and there was the remember Craig, the big ugly Craig. People were laughing about that.
It won back a lot of like people when the multiplayer launched, and it was really good. And like everyone's like, who cares about Craig now? This is awesome.
Familiar.
Yeah, but and then now no one trusts them again.
But then and then they don't support the game for almost a year, and it's like Jesus Christ, guys.
Great. Yep.
But yeah, I really like the game. I actually hopped back in and finished off all the open world like side stuff in the campaign, just for fun. But anyway, I didn't even mean to talk about Halo. It was just a joke, and then we actually started talking about it. One last comment.
You always talk about Halo.
Yeah, that's true. But I try not to talk about stuff like that on this Nintendo podcast. Now, one last comment from that one throwaway account, D's2, says, "Where the F is Sonic Frontiers in this?" And then we got a Brett Larson response below that says, "Didn't you watch the first 20 minutes?"
Seriously, I'm like, we literally started the show talking about
it. Was the very first topic.
Gosh.
Yeah. That's why
Still
with
looks
this one, like, I always try to like whatever the title of the YouTube video is and the article is, I have to make sure it's the first thing we talk about, so people don't like start the video and it's like, well, where the hell is this? This guy obviously didn't watch the first 30 seconds, or else he would have known that we were talking about Sonic. But no offense, thanks for commenting. It means a lot. Thanks for watching.
Sure,
I highly doubt you're ever around ever again. I'll probably never hear from you again. But yeah. Now, guys, let's talk about what we're playing. Mary, there's still more that you played from PAX.
Yeah.
What else did you get your hands on?
Oh, man.
What, Brett?
I was going to say real quick, Brett, because I'm going to forget. Shout out to Franco. I feel like I see him pretty often on our show, so that's pretty cool. He's been good at supporting us. So. Yep.
Sure.
Franco.
Games.
My games. I played it. Oh, wait.
I was gonna say if Franco has a if Franco has a Twitter, DM me on Twitter at BrettNLL, and I'll give you a free game for being a fan or for just hanging out. Just so you know. Woo! Oh wait, and Xbox code. Game. Sorry, that's all we got.
I want a free game.
Come
on.
All right, Mary, what'd you play?
Get me a free game.
Well, I played a lot. So I played Goat Simulator 3. It's chaos. Ooh. It's fun. It's gonna be one of those games where if I just need something to relax, tune out to, I can see myself just like going around, grabbing a friend because there is gonna be co-op with it, and just
that's sweet.
Being a goat or a shark or a giraffe or something and just causing chaos. And there's even like little puzzle solving elements to it, which I haven't played a lot of the first one, so maybe I just don't remember if it had those, but I thought that was kind of neat. I did a demo for The Last Case of Benedict Fox, which is like a Lovecraftian Metroidvania style game. It looks really cool. They first debuted it during Summer Game Fest. It's going to be on Game Pass, I believe. From the same publisher, Row Games. I played Cookie Cutter, which is another Metroidvania platformer, but very different in art style. Very cool. Really liked that. It's like if Hollow Knight or Ori had combos involved, because there actually is combos involved in combat. What else did I play?
Oh my god, that art style.
Yeah, that one's Cookie Cutter.
Yeah.
Which I feel like I saw something about it before.
Beautiful.
But it's so detailed, it's so bright,
no.
it's so cool. The character, she's such a badass,
I think The Last Case of Benedict Fox looks beautiful too. Does that look as good as these screenshots? That's pretty.
Yeah, it's very, very pretty. I played Dragon Ball: The Breakers, which is like an asymmetrical 1v7 Dragon Ball game, which I thought was really interesting. I play way too much Dead by Daylight, so I play like some asymmetrical kind of games. So this one was interesting. I played some Splatoon 3. So that was fun. I think I'm starting to lean more towards getting Splatoon 3. We talked about High on Life. And then I also went and said hi to like the Haiku the Robot developers. That releases on Switch this Friday. And I did get some codes for that. I might do like a TikTok live and give some of those away. Stay tuned.
Did you get to play any games that are still embargoed?
Yes.
Ooh, I wonder what that could be. I wonder if it's very related to the podcast.
We'll have to see whenever my embargo is up.
Did you play any Sonic Frontiers?
No, Sega had a booth. And I'm also very insulted that there was no Sonic Frontiers at that booth at all. I saw zero Sonic Frontiers. I saw it at Gamescom, like screenshots and video, but they had other games that were not Sonic. And
that's weird.
Mad.
Weird.
I wonder if it's because of like feedback or something.
Ever since I heard that they put trees in front of the TV at like one of the events so that people couldn't see it from afar, like because they weren't playing it, and it wasn't the same if you weren't playing it. I just picture like trees around their whole booth now, so you can't see anything.
The Sega jungle.
Yeah.
I did have one question for you, Mary, about High on Life. Performance-wise, it looks like it like has a lot going on, like graphically. Looks like a very graphically taxing game. Did it perform well? Did you notice any like frame rate drops? Did you notice any like weird animations or pixelated animations, or
was it a PC build?
It was I was playing it on a PC, and there's only one little hiccup in the beginning that I noticed, and like it was just like an NPC, like an idle animation. I was like, it's just very still, and the rest of it was like very colorful, very vibrant. But that could have just been like the demo, like the NPCs just weren't, I don't know. They were just kind of vibing. But the rest of it, like I didn't notice any frame drops, no lag. Like everything was very smooth, very crisp. Especially because there is a lot of color and it's a very vibrant game. So I feel like I would have seen like any sort of like performance with it, but I didn't see anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I was curious, is like a lot of like the physics in the game. There's a lot of like water and liquid and goo and colors, and I thought that would definitely hinder it, but that's good to hear.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I played. Oh, The Last Hero of Nostalgaia. That one was fun. Yeah, it's spelled like nostalgia, but they pronounce it Nostalgaia. It's like a Souls-like kind of game, and it's like 2D pixels are like a plague, and so you're trying to like return it to like this high fidelity sort of, but you're just this little pixel stick man at first, I think. So, and it's kind of like High on Life, where like the dialogue is meant to be very fourth wall breaky at times, very funny. Like the narrator is just like, why are you here? You know, this is your fault. You're not a hero. Go away, sort of thing. Like their narrator's very against you. But everything I checked out, I thought was really fun.
Awesome. Was that everything that you think you played there?
I'm going over it in my head. I played one more, and then I'm done. I promise. Demon School, which is a like Shin Megami Tensei Persona inspired sort of game. It's like a Fire Emblem strategy sort of turn-based thing, but it wasn't turn-based in the way that I thought it would be. Like you do have like a stamina or like a turn bar, but like you can do combos like with like your teammates. So it's like you hit this person up here and then someone goes and intercepts them and it does like more damage. It does a really cool combo together. So I was like, that was interesting to me as far as like the play style. So
sweet. And if you want to see more from Mary and Pax, make sure you go check out our TikToks. We've been uploading those the past few days. She shot some stuff there and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now guys, you ready to talk about what we're playing? Now, Mary, you're playing some other stuff, right? We'll get back to you, but you played more than just PAX, right?
I played like one other thing other than PAX, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, first we'll
just finish her off now.
Yeah.
Well, no, because then she won't have a reason to talk after that, because then we're going to close out the show, you know?
Okay, all right. Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So we'll come back to Mary, so it's nice, a nice sampling of all the faces here. Greg, what have you been playing lately? Did you ever beat Xenoblade?
Nope. Back in the backlog.
No.
Along with Astral Chain and like 20 other games.
Greg!
But let me tell you about the Chow
Astral
Garden.
Chain? You didn't beat Astral Chain?
I don't know why more people are playing in the Chow Garden.
Get back to the Chows!
What's the last game you've sat down and started and beaten? In like without interruption. Not in one night, but you know what I mean. Like without
probably
like stopping it and then coming back to it.
Shredder's Revenge. I've actually played through it. I think
that's
second
like a 2.5 hour
You can beat that game in like 3 hours. Yeah, 3-4 hours.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Hey, that's
like
not that bad.
Normal length game.
Every time I start a game, all I think about is like, God, I could be playing Apex right now.
Oh my gosh.
Man,
no, I have been playing. I said the Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity down for a long time. So I've been playing that, trying to finish it out. I thought I was closer to the end than I am, and I'm at the last scene or the last battle. But yeah, again, the Divine Beast sections absolutely suck. Not a fan. They're clunky. Sometimes they're muddy. I don't think they're very fun. So I'm
all the time.
Yeah, so
muddy.
I'm reading that Ask Iwata book right now. I finally cracked it open off my shelf, and just like his insight into like making Nintendo products fun, and just some of his morsels of wisdom throughout the years in game development. And I remember him saying in one of the parts, our goal is to and essentially the end user has fun playing their stuff that they create. And the entire time that I was talking to Brett about this, it was like the entire time I'm playing these sections, they're very unfun to me, but I'm glad they're fun to somebody else at least. But I forgot how good the combat is, and how each character feels genuinely unique, and just the options for crafting. But I also remembered what we talked about before, and Mary brought it up too, that every time you finish a section, then it's like bing 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 bing, and I'm like, no, I just want to like finish these pieces to this section of the map, and like more just keep popping up, and I'm just like, good God, here we go again. But the cutscenes are absolutely beautiful. I'm still surprised at the amount of enemies on screen and the combat and how it performs. I think there must have been an upgrade at least at some point, because I noticed that before I was getting some minor frame rate dips, and I haven't really seen that all that much. But I will say the map system in the game sucks. It's like really blurred and like kind of small in some instances, where I was just like trying to weave my way out of different areas and find an opening to run to the next section I'm supposed to get to. But I'm still enjoying it. It's probably one of my favorite games that I've played so far that I can return to, and hopefully I'll finish that out soon. Other than that, still slaying people in Apex Legends. I am an ace sniper, so if somebody's looking for a teammate, add me.
Damn, but, son, where'd you find this? Okay, sorry. I just wanted to say
pretty that. Good. But yeah, I absolutely love that they're still making tweaks to the game, still playing Rocket League. I felt like I played something else too lately. Haven't really booted up any retro games, but yeah, that's been the majority of my week.
Awesome. Now I'm gonna make it your goal for the week is to complete Age of Calamity before next week, Greg. You can do it.
I'll probably set it down. Won't. Oh, I did play some Ultimate Alliance, some of the challenges. That game, nice. I love that game. I wish I would have given it a higher score.
Yeah, what'd you give it? 7.5?
The Astral Chain 7.5. But I do agree with some of my sentiments. The system that it uses for like upgrades, and like some of the whole ability gem thing is like still like a little overbearing. I felt like they could have, optimized that in a different way that would have invited more players to play, because the characters, it's I don't know if they made that game now that they would have been able to pull it off. With the way Marvel's moved throughout the last decade, and I don't know if they would have been able to develop a game that had that many Marvel characters that crossed over with, a lot of the new shows and movies, and Morbius and like all that sort of stuff. So I really kind of value it now for what it is and what it was able to achieve, at the given time. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, Disney, I believe, owns all the Marvel characters in video games. They just can't use all of them in film if they're owned by Sony. But like, they own everything. For a while, they weren't doing a lot of X-Men stuff in like the comics and in cartoons because the other Fox was like benefiting from it, so they didn't want Fox to get like stuff that like they were doing to build up these characters. But anyway, now it's all under one roof. But that's not important because we're going to talk about what Brett Larson played this week.
Ooh. So we didn't get to talk about what we were playing last week because we talked for so long on the 2023 games list that we never
finished.
So, yeah, and we claimed would be this week.
Yeah,
right.
Nope.
Next week for sure.
Next week we'll go down the.
Just make sure you come back next week. It'll all be there.
Yeah,
it'll be there. Promise. So last week I finished Saints Row.
And guess what? You ended up saying it was a 6 out of 10.
I gotta tell you, when I started playing it, I was very defensive of this game. I'm like, that's bullshit. People giving it a 6 and talking about it. I'm like, this game does definitely not deserve a 6. And I'll tell you, after beating it, it just might be a 6.
Really?
What's frustrating is the end of it. It actually got, I wouldn't say amazing, but it like turned up and it was very interesting. The problem with this game is this: the story starts out like pretty intriguing, and you're kind of immersed into the story and where they're going with it, and you actually give a shit about it. And then for hours, it just goes completely in a different direction where it stops telling the story. And I don't know if you guys ever played Mafia 3, but it did the same thing where you have this amazing story leading up to this moment. And then after that, he's basically trying to build his empire. And you do that for hours and hours and hours and hours. And then you get back to the story. Same concept with this. It's like all that time you're doing like these pointless missions where they have like the main overall story that like, I was just wanting to get back to that. I'm like, why have we not heard anything about the beginning of the game and what's going to happen to the conclusion of how it left off? And it's just like hours of like, hey, meet me up and go to the shooting range. I want you to show them how to shoot. And then like hordes of enemies have come in. You have to pick them off, like stupid ass missions. And I'm like, I just want to find out what happens next in the story. And you go so long before you find out. And then like it finishes and it's decent too. Like the ending of the story is decent. The beginning is decent. The end is decent. But so much of the middle is so bad.
Yeah,
it's awful.
The entire game. You're saying.
Game,
like, exactly,
everything else.
And there's times I had myself like having an enjoyable time, but it's like every step forward is 2 steps back, and man, it's frustrating. So yeah, it's an okay game, but it might be a 6. And then this week I am playing The Last of Us remake, which Brett thinks should be The Last of Us remaster, but we won't get into that.
Let's just call it The Last of Us Part 1. All right.
So I gotta say, like, The Last of Us is my favorite game of all time, and I haven't played it in about 8 years. And like, there's times where I question myself, and I was like, I haven't played the game like in a really long time. Is that really my favorite game of all time? And like, I gotta say, like, going back and playing this again completely reaffirms why it's my favorite game of all time. It's such an amazing experience, and like that first like 30 minutes is like, I still cry.
Yeah.
And that's not a spoiler, but I still cried, and I've played that game. This is my 3rd time playing it. It's just, oh man, it's heartbreaking. Like, even to the point where my wife doesn't care about games at all. And I'm like, all right, Lindsay, just sit down for like 20, 30 minutes with me and watch this. Because, I mean, it's like watching a TV show or something. It's really cinematic. So awesome. I'm almost done with that. It's, so, I'm happy to go through that game again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which is, I was gonna say, like, I watched the prologue video of like the remaster part at the beginning. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get emotional over this game again. Wrong. Yes. I was like in my computer chair, just like, I can't cry again.
I sat there and I was like, I felt like my eyes were watering up. I'm like, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. No.
Awesome. Let's talk about John. What have you been playing the past week? Actually, 2 weeks now. Well, 2 weeks, yeah. Whatever you want.
Well, like bit by bit, I've been chipping a little more away at Earthbound Beginnings, which is like, I'm not having any fun with it at all anymore. It's just sort of like my chore, my mindless chore when like I'm not doing anything else. So it's there. But mostly I'm playing Stranger of Paradise, the Final Fantasy Origins game.
Nice. I've been interested in that one.
So I got a good deal on it from GameFly, which for those who don't know, GameFly is usually a rental service, but like I guess their excess copies they just sell, and they're in like new condition, and they come with any extra inserts. So like you get really good prices on games that are basically new. So I got Stranger of Paradise for I think $30. And I wish GameFly were paying me for telling you this, but they're not. Maybe next week. Yeah. So anyway, I bought it, and I'm like halfway in, and it's pretty solid. Like the story is like I feel like it's gonna become one of those like super meta stories where it's like, well, actually, a computer's been simulating this the whole time because blah blah blah. And so like I don't really care. And like there was like all like the meme clips of like how absurd the story is in the beginning, where like the guy plays Limp Bizkit after he declares bullshit and then he walks away. And like there hasn't been any other moment in the game quite like that, but mostly just because like you can just feel how much this game does not care about story. Like there'll be like 5 seconds of setup and then it's like back to the story. Or like there'll be like maybe one short paragraph of text before a mission, and like that's your story for like the next 45 minutes. That paragraph, that's it. And so like I kind of love that. Like it's just owning that it's like we don't care. Like you'll get the story when you get the story. It's whatever. Now the actual gameplay is now again I don't play many Soulsy sorts of games. Like I hated Demon Souls. I have the Dark Souls remastered on the Switch, and I actually did like that a little. I just never got back to playing it. But as I mentioned another week, this game is definitely more lenient. If you die, there's almost no penalty whatsoever. There's like a mechanic involving MP. Yeah, right. There's a mechanic involving MP, and like you can lose a little bit of maximum MP if you die, but you can get it back in like 10 seconds by like just killing more enemies in a certain way. So practically non-existent. But like there's different classes, and the classes actually level up at a pretty good pace, which is nice. Like it really feels like you have a lot of action options available to you, and there's lots of different ways to customize it between like you can like literally equip special abilities, or you can equip different armors and stuff. Blah blah blah. My one thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is that the balancing feels a little off with the classes, in that there's like 3 or 4 classes I've seen that have magic, and if you have the really good magic, like that kind of just takes care of everything except the bosses. Like if you have good magic, you can stand like a mile away, like a football field away, and zap a strong enemy with magic, and it's stunned, and you can go finish it off. And like if you just use magic, it like really cuts out a lot of the difficulty. But other than that, like it's not super Souls-like in that the game does kind of reward you for just like running up and killing crap as fast as you can, which is funny. Like
nice.
Yeah. Like it feels like there's exceptions. There are some like real jerk enemies where you really have to make sure you keep dodging and stuff, but like it feels like the game is at its best in the boss fights when the bosses will kill you in like 5 seconds or less if you don't actually pay attention, which is nice. And I mentioned in one of the chats the other day that I got to the Tiamat boss fight, the first fiend. There's 4 elemental fiends. Tiamat was like the hardest time I've had with a boss in like years. I spent like over an hour on this boss, just dying over and over again. And I finally just muted the game. As I mentioned to Brett, I muted the game because that is my secret technique for when things are just really, really hard. I mute it because then I can concentrate.
That's crazy because there's like sound cues and stuff.
I know, yeah. You'd think that would make it harder, but no. Like for some reason, just setting it to mute and like only like thinking about the visual information right in front of me, it really helps me to think about what the boss is going to do next and like how to avoid it. And so
I'm telling you, I'm gonna try that. The next time I'm stuck in a battle, I'm gonna try John's method and see if it works.
I mean, I've only ever.
I'm kind of there on Yakuza Like a Dragon right now. I'm not like stuck, but I've died like 3 or so times on the same enemy, and I'm like I'm not irritated, but I'm like I think I need to go back and grind a little bit. But maybe I'll try that.
Well, I don't know if it would help as much in like a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, because I'm just not strong enough. Yeah.
Well, I don't know where you're at in the game, but have you done the optional dungeon underground in the sewers?
That's what I'm doing right now to try and
level
up.
So there's one specific enemy in that sewers. I think there's literally only one, and it's always spawns in the same spot. I think it's the equivalent of the metal slimes in Dragon Quest. And if you don't know what that means, basically it just means if you kill this enemy, it gives you like a bazillion experience all at once. And it's a really easy way to get a bunch of level ups all at once if you just find this one specific enemy.
When I kept dying on that same spot, I read it said go to this underground sewer and go do that. So
what boss keeps killing you?
It's I don't know if I would give anything away.
Can you talk around what it is?
It's the guy that helps you. Let's just say that helps you, and then you find out who he is later once he reveals himself. Takes off his like mask or whatever. I'm talking about. He helps you when you.
This is not very riveting. This is not very riveting conversation.
We'll talk off the podcast.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, bottom line, if you can just find this one enemy in the sewer, you'll get a ton of level ups all at once. I think it looks like a hobo sort of dude, and you can only do 1 damage at a time. So you just have to spam whatever attacks do the most hits all at once because they all do 1 damage. So you just do an attack that has the most hits, and you'll kill it. And then you can continue with the game. And Stranger of Paradise is pretty good.
Back to that for 1 second.
Mute your volume.
Okay. Then we got Greg. Wait, where did you talk? Yeah, we already did it. It's Mary's turn. What are you playing at home now that you're not at PAX?
Well, back to PAX really quick because I forgot 2 games. Mina and the Hollower and Shovel Knight Dig. Both very good. Loved them. Mina and the Hollower especially. But I beat Cult of the Lamb last night. So I did it.
Was it as good as you ever hoped for?
It was really good, yeah. Like, and I feel like I will go back and like replay it again at some point. Maybe like turn the difficulty up. Because one of my friends, not to put down my friend's skill level, one of my friends said they had a very hard time with the final like boss of the game. I got it first try.
Which friend is this of yours?
I'm not gonna call them out.
name the loser.
Name, address,
I won't
number.
do that to them. But I was like, maybe I'll turn the difficulty up because I guess that'd be like one little complaint is that like I expected more from like a final boss, and I just flowed through it very smoothly, I think. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it was still a very good game.
Sweet. All right. I didn't go over what I was playing the week before last, but I booted up Saints Row. I was like, all right, let's check out this new video game. Started playing it, and then I realized, I asked myself, what the fuck am I doing with my life playing this game that is terrible because of the writing is so bad. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad, but it's very cringy. But it really got me thinking, like, I started GTA 5 earlier this year and was loving it. Never played the story, surprisingly. I was loving it and just randomly stopped. So when I booted up Saints Row, it really got me thinking, why the hell am I playing this and not GTA 5? So I went back to GTA 5, played it for like 15 more hours, and beat that story and gave up on Saints Row. And that was a really good game. I was one of the rare people who never played through that game's story, but I really liked it. And aside from that, I also... Amanda was out of town on Friday and Saturday, right whenever The Last of Us Remastered came out.
He's a madman for this.
I woke up at like 9 a.m. the day it came out and played it literally the entire day. And then the next day, I platinumed it. So I got everything done and spent like a day and a half. And it was a great experience. Last of Us is also like one of my favorite games ever. It's always going to be tied with Ocarina of Time, Persona 4, and Resident Evil 4. Those are my 4 games that I always consider like my top 4 favorite games. And yeah, it's absolutely awesome. It was a great graphics makeover. I played it in performance mode, that's 60 frames per second. And there's not much to say about The Last of Us because, I mean, everybody has said everything, but I do gotta say it's just so much better than The Last of Us 2 that it's just, oh my god. Playing through The Last of Us 1 made me hate The Last of Us 2 even more because when you're playing through that game, every single character along your journey, you got Sam, Henry, you even got the rapist guy. Dang it, we just got demonetized. But all of them.
Tone it down. Fuck.
The cannibal guy, is that better? Damn it, that's also a spoiler. No, but
you got the pedophile.
Every single character introduced, Tess, Bill from Bill's Town, all of them are so good throughout the game. It's like, man, they're so perfectly written. You feel emotion for these characters that you only see for a little while along your journey. And The Last of Us 2 just had none of that. Like, none of that. I didn't feel anything for any new character in that game. And this game, I'm just like, I love every single character. Just amazingly acted, amazing, like, pacing. The game is paced so well. The Last of Us 2 pacing is so bad, it's insane. And yeah, so it has cemented. I was scared to play this game because of my dismay for the sequel, but still, Last of Us 1 is an absolute masterpiece, and I recommend it to everyone. And then don't worry about playing any game after that one, except Left Behind, the DLC. You do actually have to play that to get the platinum of this game, so I did replay through that as well. And then I think I played one more game, and I can't remember what it was. I think I beat a game. Like I thought I had 3. Sorry, let me check real fast before we go. Let me check my beat games. It's loading.
While you're looking for the game, I just want to say this about Saints Row. I saw a commercial for it. I thought it was a mobile game, and I was like, what game is this? And it seemed so
that pretty much
so shallowly described. I was like, what is? And then it was like Saints Row, and I was like, what? That looks awful. Carry on.
Yeah, graphically, Saints Row looks insanely mediocre. Like Saints Row 3, the remaster that they did, looks better. Like I turned on Saints Row 3 and then had them both in quick resume so I could switch back and forth and see like the graphical difference. And yeah, Saints Row 3 looks significantly better than the brand new one, which is pretty crazy. And GTA 5 surprisingly still looks better than both of them. But also, GTA 5, one thing I wanted to shout out before we go. The world in that game is so impressive and so still way ahead of its time in terms of the things that are actually happening in the world. Like you'll see a truck driver picking up trash that people take out to the corner of their houses. You'll see him picking them up and dumping the trash in and driving to the next one and doing that. And like another thing I noticed was like all the porch lights, they all turn on at different times. Some don't turn on at the same time. It's little things that my kids honestly make me realize because they're so into the environment of GTA. Yes, my kids play GTA, but they love exploring that world and seeing all of what the world has to offer. And it just makes me realize, man, Rockstar is way ahead of like every other studio when it comes to the world building, and not necessarily the story world building, but like the active things that happen. Like a person getting arrested like in the middle of the world, like you'll just see like some shit going down, people in a fight like around a bar, people walking into a gas station and walking out. Little things like that really stand out to me, and those are the types of things that I feel like we're totally moving away from when it comes to modern video games. We're not focused on those types of mechanics and that kind of smart AI. Everyone's focused on how good can this game look, how many P's can we get in this game? How many frames per second can we get in this game? But they're not talking about the intricate details of a world that make it feel more rich and alive. And that's one thing I really loved about GTA 5.
I got to say real quick, that's one thing I noticed a couple nights ago too, and I actually tweeted this out. In The Last of Us, there's a part where Joel goes into a bathroom and there's a scale on the ground. And I was like, I'm sure nothing will happen. And I walk up to the scale and stands on it, and like the thing moves back and forth and weighs him. I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
how much does he weigh?
Did not have to make that. It was like, I think it was like 200 and something. I couldn't really read it, but it's amazing. Like they totally could have made that do nothing. And like 95% of people will ever step
Eric
on that scale.
Clip.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's stepping on a scale in the clip.
95% of people will never notice that in the game, but they still put it in there. And it's like little details like that I think are almost as cool as like 4K graphics. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that kind of stuff's way more important to me. Like I'll say it, I think I've already said it on this show, but in Mass Effect, the fact that you go do like a main mission and come back and every single character has something new to say to you, that will infinitely impress me more than any type of graphics that can look amazing. I care more about that kind of stuff in video games. But yeah, this has been Spot Dodge, a live Nintendo podcast. If you made it this far, thanks so much for hanging out. It's been a great show. I thought it was nice and compact. We started talking about Yakuza a little long, I'll be honest, but aside from that, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, you're really gonna.
I was gonna say,
what about the Chow Garden?
Listen,
Chow section.
about the
like
chows.
on.
No.
We gotta get back to the chows. All right, that's one thing. For some reason, everyone loved them. And then, and I mean, everyone loved chow.
We just had 14 people leave to YouTube.
And then the industry decided, you know what? Let's not give people what they want. Let's not give them chows. So anyway, yeah. I'm just kidding, guys. Awesome show. Thanks for hanging out. We won't do our name things at the end because I don't know. We don't need to do that anymore. It's just let's just end the show.
Find me on TikTok.
Thank you. Yeah, follow Greg on TikTok at I am awesome. Right, Greg? Yeah, I am a chow. Find me at ChowLover89, and I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.